Welcome, everyone, to the Tingling Tea. We've missed you. We were on vacation for a little while for the holiday, and so now we are back. But this is the Tingling Tea where we spill the tea on the strange and the supernatural, the weird and the wonderful, the creepy and the cryptid, and all that is phenomenally freaky. With me tonight is my team from Cliff Dive Productions. First, I'd like to introduce Miss Annebelle Wright.
What's
Hello.
tingling, everybody?
Tingling is that turkey you had for Thanksgiving. It looked delicious, the picture that you sent me.
It was actually a chicken, but
Chicken, turkey.
the jury's out.
Wow, it was good. It was good. And everything, the green beans and everything, the mac and cheese, it looked delicious. But listen, we can't talk food without having our other host in. And let's present to you Mr. August Eddie Peterson.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello.
I feel in a certain way because I didn't get a picture of a chicken on Thanksgiving. What's going on, Annabelle? You're not sending me a picture of your chicken?
You did not check our group chat.
Oh.
Hello.
You're right. I did not check our group chat.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you just don't go there, right?
My food.
I'm going there.
Chat.
Hello to Mia. Mia is on Facebook.
Hey, Mia.
Hello, Mia.
Hey, Mia. So, how was your gobble gobble day?
It was good. I ate too much. You know what? I love the tradition. I love eating all of those traditional foods, and I just love the family and getting together. And so for me, Thanksgiving was really, really nice. It wasn't big this year, but it was still nice to eat all that food, that we love eating only once a year, quite honestly. Just once a year is enough for me.
I'm turkeyed out after that. I am.
Yeah.
I mean, you have turkey everything. Well, this was the first year that I actually celebrated as a day of remembrance and mourning because for Native American people, this is not Thanksgiving.
That's right.
This is, it was an awful incident that occurred after the settlers got here, with the Pequots Indians, how they annihilated them. And so they take this particular day as something that celebrates just all the people that lost their lives during the time that occurred. It's a very interesting perspective to take because you also want to share that time with your family. You only get that time once a year, and of course some people do celebrate with the food and everything like that, but they change the meaning behind Thanksgiving per se. Because
that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. I'm learning so much about my Native American heritage right now. So
I know you are. I want to hear more. I want to hear more about that. There's a lot
more that I've learned. But anyway, if you are joining us for the first time, if you've never watched us on the Tingling Tea, we usually discuss things that are like scary, supernatural, out of this world and everything. So if this is something that you don't normally listen to, or you can't, handle that scary content, I would suggest that you turn us down or turn us off. Or if you have kids, that you use parental discretion as far as the content that we're going to be showing. I would say that it's about PG-13 sometimes. So with that being said, let's move on. I am so interested in what has been happening lately with this missing monolith in the desert.
Is that a real photo of the monolith?
I don't know.
That was doctored up. I think that was doctored.
Well, but just think about it. It's still mysterious in the fact that it got there. Nobody knows how it got there. Nobody knows how that monolith got there. And it was made out of some kind of weird metal or whatever. So of course, the comments about it is that the aliens who left it there have now come to pick it up. I guess it gathered enough information for them, and now they decided that they're going to just go ahead and, take it away.
Oh, it was a data gathering tool? I didn't realize this.
I don't know. I'm just suggesting that it's data gathering. I mean, why would you leave it there, and then why would you pick it up?
Well, first of all,
maybe it was controlling President Trump for 4 years.
Okay. So
I don't know. It's kind of mysterious. He's out of office and it disappears. I'm just saying.
He's not out of office yet.
He's not. He's got 50 some
Yeah,
days
he just
left.
woke up and was in his right mind today, but after it disappeared or whatever. But yeah, it's kind of strange. But go ahead. What were you saying?
Well, you can't think of a monolith without thinking of 2001, The Space Odyssey, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
as soon as I started seeing this mysterious monolith show up, I went right to 2001 and was looking at 2001, and there were absolutely no comparisons, honestly. It just looks similar. That's pretty much it. I did a lot of comparisons thinking that this might be something very meaningful like 2001, but no one looked at it and saw a bunch of stars or anything like that. It was just a big metal.
My
This
understanding
triangle.
was there was only the one helicopter pilot that actually saw it, right? Do we
I
know?
thought it was discovered by a group of hikers.
Yeah, I think that was discovered by a group of hikers too.
Okay, I remember the story being it was discovered by a helicopter pilot that took a picture of it. But maybe I'm wrong
But
because
people
this was
have
a couple
actually-
weeks ago. That
Well, maybe he initially discovered it, but people have actually gone there, hit it, touched it. It has handprints and everything on it. From what I could see, it did when it was there, but now it's not there any longer.
do you think we need to do another raid on Area 51 to get it back?
Well,
Let's
I
do
don't know.
it.
I think these
What?
suckers. I think they took it. So
There's,
I don't know.
There's an image of aliens taking it away. Look at this.
That
Who took this?
I'm usually more of a skeptic on this content, but that doesn't look fake at all.
No, I don't think so. I think that's real. And they
No.
do look alien-like.
I'm just gonna say, y'all, this is fake as heck. This is somebody's rendering of what possibly happened to this piece of metal, that it just disappeared, that they came and got it.
Wait. Mia just reported to us that there's another monolith that was found in Europe, just like the one, and it's gone now too. Just like the one we saw. Yes. I did not read this. Apparently I have to watch more BBC in order to find out about the other monolith, but I only know about the one in North America because that's
Yeah,
how
I
the
don't.
news looks
I
at.
usually don't watch any news that's not about the USA, so I might have to check that out.
That
Wow.
is good. We're gonna have to Google that during the show.
We definitely are gonna have to. That is crazy. That is crazy. Now this just means it just opens up a whole new world of what could have possibly happened to these monoliths.
That means these two were very busy that we see here in this photo.
Yeah,
By
they
the
had
way,
to drag that
I-
a long way.
Really far. I really like their skin tight outfits though.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
pretty cool.
Definitely. Yeah, they obviously are very fit too, because they can lift a monolith, and
Well,
just
they're
take it
aliens.
out.
Maybe they're
Can you
super
identify-
alien strength.
The breed of alien.
I would say that those are grays.
I was gonna say Grace.
Yeah, those are grays. But I think whoever the artist rendering of this has made them kind of green. But they are
I'm gonna
grays.
go with olives. Olive. They look like olives, don't they? Their heads a little bit.
What
Yeah,
they,
You want to put them in a martini?
The
put a
olives.
They do look like an olive head. They do look like a martini. They look like the olives in a martini. I love me some olives in a martini too, by the way.
Dirty.
So this is definitely, we're going to have to do a series on the types of aliens that have actually had, that people are aware of that have had visitations. But I know this being grays.
Have you?
And and then I know that the reptiles are in office right now.
Wow, you are just letting them fly today.
Hey,
Let me-
that's the theory, that they are ruling England and United States.
Okay, and let's be honest. Of the reptilians that we know live inside human skin suits, do you really think they could carry that away?
Well, they're old reptiles. But every time I think about that concept, though, I always think about that bad Mario Brothers movie about those reptiles that's every time I think about it, it just makes me laugh.
Oh my god, that move. We should do an entire show on that movie because I still think about those tiny dinosaur heads on the
Yes.
I have never seen that
exactly.
movie. I have to watch it.
Oh gosh, it's like the worst. But I mean,
Oh,
we
good.
can stand it. One good thing about it is that John Leguizamo was in it, and I can't think of his name. This is killing me. The gentleman that played in Roger Rabbit. But
Yes.
yeah, Who Killed Roger Rabbit? But I have to tell you that it's not the best movie at all. But that's every time I think about reptilians being, and I actually do have some stories about people who have actually turned into reptiles in front of fans.
Okay,
And
that's definitely a segment of a show.
I'm
yes,
curious to hear about that someday.
okay, so maybe that'll be our next show. That
Sure.
we'll talk about the types of aliens and the fact that some people who are reptiles that are and there's footage of their eyes actually changing too, but that if they actually whatever their decoy feature that they have malfunctioned and they showed them their real selves.
This just reminds me of the television show V.
That
Which I
yes,
loved.
I
I
did
loved
too.
V.
We could do a whole segment on the bee or They Live, which is kind of what it reminds me of as well.
Or They Live. Yes,
Mhm.
exactly. I loved in V when they would eat the heads off the birds. That was my favorite part.
Birds
I
and
would,
gerbils.
and I would wait for that for the entire television episode. I'd be like, they're gonna eat it. They're gonna eat it.
Well, yeah. So this story, you know, will continue. I suppose we'll start finding out if this is a mystery or whatever. I mean, there's different theories out there that it was an art piece and somebody came and grabbed it. But I just think it's just very weird that in the middle of the night it disappeared. I don't know anybody that will walk into the desert in the middle of the night and just take this monolith. So it's very strange.
Some very dedicated artists.
I think
Yeah.
we should do a field investigation.
Really? What's the weather like there? Did we wait until it's better weather? Or
It's
is it-
Arizona, right? Or is it Utah?
I have no idea.
I think it's Utah.
It's Utah, I
Oh,
think. Yeah.
well, let's see what the temperature is, and then figure out if we can do field investigation.
Well,
Uh,
I'm not sure if this is a piece of the metal that was left behind, the bottom piece, but that's one of the pictures that apparently was there. But I don't know. You know, people take pictures of everything, and they use footage for um, just use footage. They use all kinds of footage just to tell the story. You know, for any news story that they pull up. So I don't know if this is actually real footage.
I've seen some
Imagine-
good. Go ahead, Annabelle.
Oh, I was going to say, imagine if this monolith went like way down into the ground and was just connected to like the bedrock or something. Like it wasn't just something that was put there. Like it was connected to the earth all the way down there. Would that be
Well,
more evidence?
Supposedly, that's where the reptilians live too. You know.
That's
Oh,
what
they're
I'm
not-
saying.
Are they still aliens if they come from the Earth?
No, they're never aliens. They're interdimensional beings. They're not aliens. They're masking as aliens, but they're actually interdimensional beings.
Wow, this is getting deeper and deeper by the second.
Yes, we could do a whole segment on that. That's
Did
one of
the-
my favorite things to talk about.
Did the aliens stack the rocks too?
No, I think somebody else.
That's
stuck
a
rocks.
human thing.
Yeah, that's a human thing. And who knows why humans stack rocks?
I've
They
seen
did.
some great photos of the monolith found in different areas, showing up in different areas on Reddit, and it shows up in like people's toilet bowls. It's showing up on. It showed up in someone's backyard. It looked very much like a wavy metal piece of sheet metal, but you know they're seeing monoliths all over the place on Reddit, so everybody should check that out.
Oh, I definitely have to do that. Well, let's move on. So while we've been on holiday, we were discussing this the other day, but we all started watching Evil. And I just have to tell you that this by far, I binge watched this, and you know, it takes a lot for me to get creeped out about anything that's, you know, horror or whatever. I mean, I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. But this show, yo, what I think is the scariest thing about this show, having taken theology classes, is that they actually weave authentic truths about exorcisms and demons into fiction. So that there's no fine line between what is it. It just all meshes together and you don't know which is true is false. You would know if you studied, but then I've actually questioned like a couple of things that happened on the show was like, did did that actually happen, or where did they find that information, or is that something they just created? This show is hella scary. That's all I'm going to say.
It's really scary. I have watched it. I'm not quite through the first season, but I have watched enough of it where I know that this is a freaky show, and it makes your skin crawl.
Yes.
A little bit. Like it just, there's something about it that just is not right. Oh, this was a scary episode. This was
yes. Great. So
I am totally horrified by this show. The amount of times that, there's just, you're alone at your place and there's a knock on your door and no one there.
Yeah.
That's things that scare me.
My parents just had that happen to them.
Was it did you see a black-eyed kid run away?
They saw nothing. They went to their front door and they opened the door and there was nothing there. Someone had knocked on the door, and then they went there and nobody was there.
Well, that's why your mom is afraid to watch this show too.
And someone else in my life. I have two people in my life that have started to watch this show, and they refuse to continue to watch the show because they feel that the show is actually evil. They think that there is something not right about the show, and they do not want to expose themselves to it.
I could actually see why they believe that. I could actually see that because, just like I said, you're introducing people to knowledge that they don't know about when it comes to demonic forces and the way the devil operates. You're introducing them to that. And if somebody that is not strong in their beliefs or their faith would be very weirded out by this show.
I agree. I actually think, in addition
or
to
somebody that really knows about this stuff would be like, no, I'm not even introducing this into my home.
Right. Well, they use a Ouija board and other things in the show, which you certainly don't play with, Les. There's the thing that I find horrifying is the sort of children in the show, and the sort of that the children are innocents that are being corrupted somehow. Right. I find that horrifying.
Yeah, but that's what the devil does. So that's why he takes a mind that's easy to meld, and he actually shapes it. So this is why kids that are what I could consider to be at the age of consent, which is the age of 12, the age when you could decide what you want to walk faith-wise, that they're involved with all of these like games and stuff on TikTok and stuff like that, or using Ouija boards or going on ghost hunts, all of this other kind of stuff. This is the time where it seems appealing to people to do it. I mean, look at us. We've made a whole show based on this stuff only because we are appreciation of these things, but we're not necessarily doers of these things.
We're slightly obsessed over these types of things.
Yeah, we're obsessed over these things. But I will say that in my youth, I've done those things because I was at a time where I was easily influenced by this kind of stuff. You kind of just were like, oh, if it happens, it happens. If you don't, it don't. But you don't understand how dangerous involvement in this is. Yeah. And it's dangerous.
I recall, as I was a kid, when I was, of the age that these kids are in the show, playing things like light as a feather, stiff as a board. Did you ever do that when you were a kid? Mm-hmm. It never worked for me.
Ouija board too.
Oh, Ouija. Oh yeah, I did the Ouija board too.
Yes.
I think it's interesting to me because like this show, because I'm a non Christian believer, the demon parts aren't what scares me, but it's more of like the environmental horror part that gets me.
In what way do you mean?
Like just the concept of someone knocking at my door. But I mean, I've talked on this show about, playing with Ouija boards and going to places and, poking this stuff because I generally don't believe it. But if I hear a knock on my door, I'm gonna freak out. So
then would you believe? Then would you believe if you knew that it actually exists?
Well, just because you hear a knock on your door does not prove demon infestation, right?
Well,
right?
Could be a woodpecker infestation.
yeah. Or a black-eyed kid for that matter. I just think that if you allow something to come into your home and you start seeing a manifestation of it, then you truly know that is exactly what it is. And you poke the right one or the wrong one for that matter. But I think that's your fascination with it, or our fascination with it as a group, is one of the things that gets people to see if it actually exists. In my perspective, and as a Christian, I know that this exists. I know that there's this other realm. I know that there are demons and the devil. I do know these things. Yet and still, I still have a fascination for it. And I always look at it from the perspective of, I'm fascinated by it, but I'm knowledgeable about it too. I know where I will not go because I know what will come of that. And we've all had experiences, which is probably why we're so fascinated by this subject matter, because we've all had some kind of experience in our life where we know or we've seen it in it being in effect.
So
It's really good.
Yes, I hate this character, by the way. I think
This
character
guy's
is like,
he is so good
the
in this
actor is
show.
unbelievable. Yeah.
He's so good in this show.
Isn't that the same actor that was in Lost? It's kind of a
Yes.
similar character.
Yes, he was in Lost. He was.
I
in Lost.
love this actor. I don't remember a lot of stuff I've seen him in other than Lost, but that's what I think of whenever I saw him.
Yes, and he's actually married to why am I put on the spot right here? Let me tell you who he's married to. Do you all remember? Do you watch Claws?
Oh, I know Claws. I don't watch it, but I know it. It's like one of
Okay.
those ones that I'd love to see.
So, when we had our parade, when we were at our parade, she was there. She's one of my favorite characters. But I met her. I was introduced to her at our parade that we were at. But I also know her from True Blood. The character, I think, is Carrie Preston. Is her name? He's
Oh,
married to
really?
Carrie Preston. Yes.
Amazing.
Yes. And his name is let's see if I
Michael
can look.
Emerson.
Yes, Michael Emerson. He's amazing in this
Oof.
show.
Yes.
He is amazing. He is just the right kind of ilk that you're like, ugh. But the thing is, too, he's likable. He's likable, which is even more scary. Like, why do?
He makes my skin crawl.
Yes, he does. But he's hilarious in this show. There's something
yes.
appealing about him.
Carrie Preston, you're absolutely right. Carrie Preston played, I think, one of the waitress.
She played the waitress in True Blood. Yes,
Wow.
the red hair.
Yes.
So he is married to her.
Wow.
Yes. But this whole thing, this demon that he pays homage to, the fact that they actually mentioned that demon's name on the show, and that demon does exist, by the way.
Could you say the demon's name?
No,
I don't know.
I'm not
I haven't got there.
No, I'm not saying its name. But
is that who we're looking at now? The demon?
Well, so this demon right here is just the one that he consults with. So
this is just a consultant.
Well, yeah,
we don't care about. Is he hourly worker?
He's actually, so this guy portrays a psychologist, and he psychologists also need a psychologist, but his psychologist is this devil, this demon. The interesting thing is that he sits and talks. The demon, he talks and consults with the demon, but it's the same as if I was sitting and praying to God. That's exactly what he does. He's in meditation or discussion with this demon. So
I haven't gotten to that episode yet. This is a creepy show.
Yeah, the show is extremely creepy.
What I like about it are the dynamics between the different characters. Mm-hmm. So you have the person who is full of faith but questioning his faith, and then you have the person who is sort of the objective observer, but this person was sort of religion was not part of this person's life, and she's being challenged by all the things that she's witnessing. Mm-hmm. And then you have And then you have the scientists who's trying to prove it all, and
Who
it's
is
very
a Muslim, by the way? Who's a Muslim?
who is Muslim. That's right.
Yes.
So it's all very interesting, I think,
Hmm.
to watch the dynamics of how they approach making sense of all of these things that are so difficult to explain.
Yeah.
It gives me like a little bit of X-Files vibes.
Yes.
It's kind of my first reaction to it.
Yeah.
Except for, as you told me, she's like not as put together as Scully is.
No, she's
So,
not. She's not.
but her
She's,
looks are pretty good, like
her,
Scully. So I'll give her that.
she's smart. She's
She's
very
very smart.
smart,
Yeah.
but that might be to her detriment because she thinks she knows everything, and this is why she has these situations that occur to her. But she definitely has, you know, the fact that she's smart and the fact that she's susceptible and the fact that she has children around her makes her vulnerable to this creature. The fact that she has a family, which is one of the things that the devil tries to do, is that he tries to destroy families. So this is just, there's a lot of dynamic in here that is based on a lot of truth. It's just,
Well,
it's scary.
what I like from this picture is the shoes,
Yeah,
hooves.
the costuming and the special effects are amazing on this
So
show.
good. So
Very,
good.
very show. So he's got hooves. Yes.
If
Yes.
only the CGI part is the one part that I do not like as much.
Yeah. Yeah, there is some, but I mean, considering that it's a TV show, and I think that they just
Yeah.
signed up for another season.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
On
it's
Netflix.
been signed. Yeah, for Netflix. Netflix signed it up for another season.
If I'm understanding this right, this was produced for maybe a network or something like that, and then
CBS.
season 2, CBS,
Yeah, it was a CBS show.
and then
Mhm.
season 2 was taken on by Netflix. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And have you seen the Netflix one, Les?
Yes, I have.
Have you, Annabelle?
No, I'm about as far as you are in the
Okay.
first season.
So are they able to go a little deeper
Yes.
and darker with Netflix because they don't have the restrictions?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it right there. But I will tell you that a couple of the last episodes creeped me out to the point that I had a bad dream, that I couldn't sleep. So I said, okay, I'm consuming too much of this show all at one time. I'm going to have to take it in pieces. But I want to shout out to Mike Scorrito, who told me about this show. He's a horror writer, and we actually had him on the Bit and Apple a couple of weeks ago. And for somebody that's a horror writer to say that this is like by far one of his favorite shows right now that he's watching, I knew that it had to be good.
Yeah.
So, and it definitely is a good show. It definitely is.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I definitely have people in my life that have watched this and also have scary dreams associated with this.
Yeah, there is something. I would say, please use at your own discretion to watch this show because it will get into your psyche. And if you go around and re-bless your house or something like that afterwards, if you're feeling a certain way, I think you should do that. Honestly. But I'm telling you, if they feel a certain way about it, it's because it is there.
Well, these are the main characters that we're looking at right now.
Right. These are the main characters.
Yeah. Very good actors.
Yeah, very, very good. Very good show. Very good show. So let's move on. We all, I mean, this is fair. I don't know if this actually should be all in one category, but, horror and Christmas at the same time. Christmas is full of light and joy and the birth of Jesus Christ and all of these things actually has a horror genre. There are shows or movies that were basically centered around horror. And one of the ones that we were talking about is a show that is actually not signed up for another year, but we were talking about Nosferatu, which you all are going to look into, which is the whole premise of it is about Christmas and, the innocence of Christmas and stuff like that. But we wanted to really talk about Christmas horror as a whole, like what we know as Christmas horror, some of the films that we know about from Christmas horror, and kind of, just elaborate on those a little bit. So,
Annabelle, was that your Christmas tree?
Do you like it?
I think so. What
I
is
think
on the top of that tree?
that looks like is whose head is that? I don't know.
I don't want to tell my secret.
You know who I think that is? I think that that's the guy from Saw.
Oh yeah, that is
Oh,
Jigsaw.
That's Jigsaw.
That's the puppet.
Yeah, that Jigsaw's head is on the tree.
he has the little swirly cheeks.
Yep. His
Yeah, those
swirly
are my
teeth.
favorite Christmas movies.
Yes, yes.
Saws 1
Another
through
Christmas
7.
theme in it.
Is that
But
all they
anyway-
made? Just 7?
But
No, I think there's more. I think there's like Saw 1 through 7 and then Saw the finale or something.
So I would say the original Christmas horror film that I remember seeing when it came out a long time ago was A Christmas Carol, and the 1938 version is the one that I like the most because I think it's the darkest. And this is the one that had Reginald Owen in it, Jean Lockhart, Kathleen Lockhart, the whole Lockhart family and everything. I actually have a ritual where I have to watch this every Christmas Eve while I'm baking my cookies and putting ornaments on my tree and stuff like that, because I usually put my tree up around that time. And this is by far one of my favorite movies. I think what is really exciting and creepy about this particular movie.
Look at those special
this
effects for
version.
1938.
For 1938, exactly.
That's
For
amazing.
1938, these effects were amazing. They played a lot on the dark and the shadow and the light in this, and this was in black and white.
So
That's
I
great.
didn't realize this movie was 1938. I always thought it was like a 50s or 40s movie.
Well, they did remake the 50s and they did make it in the 40s and the 50s, but to me, this is the one that I felt was probably the best out of all the remakes, because they've done this over and over and over again ad nauseum. But
it's an endless story.
Yes, it's an endless story. I mean, it definitely puts you in the feel of being, you put in the mindset of being in a turn of the century England. Everything is about it. He is amazing in this role. He is amazing in this role.
He is really, really good in this role.
Yes, just an amazing film. But it's like an old horror film, like the old school horror films, like House on Haunted Hill, or which was also in black and white when it originally came out, or The Haunting of Hell House. Those kind of things. It kind of puts you in the same mind.
I remember as a kid, I would get scared when this
watching this
movie. I would get scared.
It really actually did have a dark feel.
That coat.
To it. Yeah. This is
That was only a year ago, by the way.
A year ago.
I haven't seen this movie in so long. I think I'm gonna add it back onto my watch pile for the season.
Yeah, it's really good.
They've made fantastic remakes too. I mean,
I want to go back to the original though. I've seen a lot of the remakes, but it's been a long time since I've seen the original. Like I think grade school was the last time they maybe put it on for us.
One thing that I can say about this is the acting in this is phenomenal, and British actors play it very well. That's all I'm going to say. They have the gravitas to pull this off, and that's what you're going to look. You're going to look at a really good British drama, horror / feel-good movie, and it's definitely all worth it. The acting is impeccable in this. But
I love this. I love the story of Tiny Tim and I think that the Cratchits, I think that's an amazing part of this story.
Yeah.
So fun fact is we are actually getting a Lego set with Ebenezer Scrooge and Tiny Tim. It's a Charles Dickens tribute set, and it's on a book, and it's like in the apartment with a little snowy outside.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Wow.
I have to see that. You have to take a picture
We
of that.
we got it as a Black Friday special from Lego, and I can't wait to build it. It's going to be really fun. Seeing Tiny Tim made me think of it.
I can't wait to see that. Charles Dickens is one of my favorite writers, and I just can't wait to see that. You have to take a picture of that.
I'll send you a photo of it.
Okay. But yeah, this is just a really wonderful film. Just extremely wonderful. And so let's move on to the next film. The Nightmare Before Christmas, which we
Yes.
all know about. The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
Is it a
we
Halloween
do.
movie or is it a Christmas movie or is it both?
Both. It's
Well,
both.
this is true. What is it? Is it both? It is. I would say it's a Christmas movie.
I think it's more Christmas. I agree
Yeah.
with you.
It does
would
have
say
more
that's
of a Christmas themes to it, I think.
Yeah, definitely more Christmas themes. More, and the color and everything in it is a mixture of the two, but more so Christmas.
I love this movie so much.
Oh.
The music, the animation, everything about it.
The characters, I mean, this character is amazing. What's his name again? I can't think
Jack
of his name.
Skellington.
Jack Skellington.
Of course. He's amazing. Like, you definitely care about this character. You definitely care about Jack, and you want him to...
You want to be his friend.
You do.
You do. He's heartbreaking. He really is. He really is. Well, for anybody that has not seen this movie, can you all give like a brief synopsis of the movie? So we can definitely recommend this for Christmas. And this is for kids as well. It's a Tim Burton, but it is a little dark. We know how Tim Burton's movies are. But it's a really...
I'd say it's a little dark, but I would still call this, for the most part, an all-ages movie.
Yeah,
so,
I would say that. And the music...
I mean, it's basically this world of Halloween. One of them learns about Christmas and wants to do Christmas, and that's the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's so amazing. If you haven't seen it, I can't believe you haven't. You should add it immediately to your watch list.
You definitely should.
These characters have become iconic since this movie has come out.
Yeah.
I mean, these characters just continue to show up in the consciousness of, every season, every Halloween and every Christmas season, these characters, you see them returning again and again and again because this is a modern classic.
Yeah.
Agree.
It definitely is. I would agree.
It's not so modern. It's a little old now. It's been out for a while, August.
But I would say modern in the sense that it kind of broke the mold because we haven't seen anything like this. And this came out in, what year did this come out?
Ooh, I have IMD up.
Around 2000, like give or take a year. That's my guess.
Nightmare Before Christmas, 1993.
Oh, that is old, then. If you think about it, it wasn't 2000. Well,
it was older than I thought. That's almost 30 years old.
Wow, that's incredible to think this is 30
and
years
it's held
old.
up, and it's held up so well.
It has. I don't think of this as
looks
a 30-year
modern.
movie.
Yeah, it looks modern. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's definitely a great. Oh, so amazing.
And I just want to watch all of these right now.
Yeah, you have time because we got some time off, so we're definitely going to be able to watch all of these films. Next, of course, how can we forget Gremlins? How can we forget this? You can't have it everywhere to have a Gremlins. All-time favorite too.
All-time favorite. I mean, how can you? And this is Steven Spielberg, I think.
Yes, it is. This is Steven Spielberg.
I spent so long trying to teach a Furby, one of those electronic Furbies, how to talk when I got one as a kid.
Yes.
And it never talked. But someone claimed that it could learn your name.
Oh.
that is very upsetting. That must have been very scarring for you. So
I have to tell you all though, I'm impressed how much Mowgli looks like Baby Yoda.
Maybe they took Baby Yoda from,
I was about to say he came first.
He did. Yes, he did. But whatever it is that they did when they created his face that made it so appealing was exactly what they've done with Baby Yoda.
It's so cute.
It's unbelievably cute.
Especially right here, he looks like Baby Yoda.
He does those little eyes, and you just love him unbelievably.
Wait,
I wanted one of these for so long. Like I wanted this to be a real thing that I could actually go out and have as a pet.
Yes. Didn't we all? Didn't we all wish that we had a Mowgli?
Is this not Gizmo? I thought that was
Gizmo.
This is Gizmo.
Yeah. Why do I keep calling him Mowgli? But Gizmo.
I don't know. I was going to question you because I was thinking maybe you knew something I didn't, but
that's what he is, though. Isn't he called a Mowgli? Isn't what Gizmo is? Is a Mowgli?
I thought they were Furbies. Is this not Furbies?
This isn't
Oh.
Furbies. No.
They
They're
look
not
the same.
Furbies. I think
That's
they're
why
called Mowgli's.
I couldn't make the connection between Furby, but that's
Same
all right.
thing.
It's all
I
right.
think that's what they're called. Like his species is called that. I could be wrong. Does anybody in the audience know? Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes, that's what they're called.
Mogwai.
Mogwai. That's what they're. Mogwai. Exactly. But that's what I knew it was something like that. But
Oh,
this was
remember
an
these
amazing-
characters? They're so good.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. They were excellent in this. Phoebe Cates was excellent in it. He was excellent in it. Just it's really a great movie. It's scary too. It does, people lose their
Oof.
lives. People actually lose their lives in this movie. So
This scared the heck out of me.
yeah, it was scary.
And
It was scary.
when the woman was in her chair,
Oh, yes, and you knew it was going to happen.
you
I
knew
don't
it
think
was coming.
but it's so bad. It's because how they met their demise. You kind of giggle about it.
Well, it's comedic. It's
Yes,
comedic
very
as you're
comedic.
watching this horrific thing happen. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's definitely comedy horror.
Mrs. Dinkle. That's her, Mrs. Dinkle.
Yes. So if you have never seen this movie is basically about a young man who is given a gift, which is the Mogwai, which is Gizmo, and he's given specific things. He's given this from this mystical man.
His dad gives him it.
His dad gives it to him and his dad got it from a mystical man. And there are certain instructions that he has to abide by.
Which
Doesn't
of course
tell
he
you why,
doesn't.
but of course he doesn't, which is pretty typical. What happens when you get your kid a pet and you tell them, "Listen, I'm only going to get you a pet if you walk your pet every day. You make sure that they eat and stuff like that." And you, the parent, ends up taking care of the pet. But this is essentially what happened here. So he doesn't follow the rules. One of the rules is he's supposed to never get wet, and he's never supposed to eat past midnight. And all of those things happen. And this was the result. The evil side of that sweet little bitty baby thing that we just saw.
So according to IMDb, you know who's in this? Corey Feldman.
Really?
Corey Feldman.
It makes total sense. He has to be, right?
Yes, that's so him too. And he was so in the 80s. What's the year that this came out?
Oh my god, the caroling scene.
This is 84.
1984.
Oh, I love the caroling scene.
Yep.
Of
course, I had to put that one in here.
I have a quick story. So, right around this time, they were where I grew up in Connecticut. They were filming a horror movie, and I was completely obsessed with them filming this horror movie. It was in a neighborhood near where I went to school, and I ended up ingratiating myself with the director and got to be it was a zombie movie, so I got to be a zombie. And I was completely obsessed with special effects makeup at the time. I would send away for all the special effects stuff and just do all this horrific thing, these horrific cuts and stuff on my face, and then go and scream and freak my mom out. So at any rate, I ended up being on the set for a couple days as a zombie, and the special effects person on the movie was telling me about how he was about to go to New York and film Gremlins 2 and work on Gremlins 2. And at that time, Gremlins was my all-time favorite movie. I saw it in the movie theater X number of times. I was so excited about it. And that was the biggest celebrity, the first time I was in awe of what someone told me in my life. I was like, wait, you're going into this Gremlins world? You're going to Gremlins? Yes. I couldn't believe it. I was in awe of this person for years and years and years.
And now look at this, because this is iconic.
Oh,
this
it's
is
iconic,
a classic
yes.
film, a classic. I mean,
the special effects on this were fantastic.
I still vividly remember the first time I saw this film, and there's not a lot of movies that I can say that.
Yeah.
I remember how I felt the first time I saw what happened when you got water on them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was terrifying to me, too. I was like, no. Oh, my goodness. I remember seeing this in the theater. So
this is when Phoebe Cates was really hot.
She was at the top of her game, though, because she had just done Fast Time at Ridgemont High.
Yeah.
She had done a couple of other movies. Yeah. So she was Phoebe Cates now, who is married to Kevin
Klein.
Klein. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, and when they attacked the mother. Oh my
Oh
God. Do you hear what I hear playing in the background? Oh my God. That was incredible. That was
So that,
incredible.
of course, everybody can see that that's one of our favorites. So one of the next films that we can't go anywhere without 1974's Black Christmas. This was remade, but I specifically picked 1974 because it was the first time the film came out. And this is what made it. I mean, if they're going to do a remake on a film, that means that it was classic enough that they would do a remake. So the 1974 version of Black Christmas was this. So this actually, now that I'm thinking about this has had Olivia Hussey in this film. And Olivia Hussey at the time, too, was really big.
Huge. Just did Juliet.
Yeah, she did. She had just done Juliet for Romeo and Juliet, which most of us all had to watch while we were in grade school. We all had to watch that version of Juliet. But I did not know that I didn't remember John Saxon and Margot Kidder were both in this film.
That's right. I remember Margot Kidder. Why? Because I only saw this 2 years ago for the first time. I knew nothing about it.
Oh, okay. Well, then you can kind of give a little recap on this particular movie, because I have not seen it in a while.
Oh.
But I do remember this movie, and I kind of remember excerpts, certain scenes, but not necessarily. So
I've never seen this movie. Yeah. This is what I've never seen.
So this is a classic sort of sorority house story. So there's a bunch of girls that are staying at home over the Christmas holiday, and they are sort of being terrorized by someone that they don't know. And honestly, it's a serial killer movie. I mean, people are being picked off one by one.
Yes.
And what is so I found amusing about this is the serial killer, the sort of first person perspective of this, the point of view perspective of the serial killer. This is very popular at this time in cinema, and for whatever reason, every serial killer suffered from emphysema, and I'm not really sure why, because they would all go. The scary parts are always with the killer going.
Breathing, yeah.
It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and sort of takes you out of it. But the acting was great. Margot Kidder was excellent in this. She was relatively young in her career. She was really, really good at this. We just mentioned who was the lead in this?
Olivia Hussey.
That's right. Just mentioned her. I mean, she was fantastic too. Also, in this movie is the lead from 2001: A Space Odyssey. He was in this movie as well.
In this movie too.
Yep. It was filmed in the Toronto area, and this house is still up, and you can still see it. But it's the story of these sorority sisters that stay over Christmas holiday. And, of course, they're getting into the foolishness that sorority sisters always do. And they are being punished for it by this serial killer. And so that's one of the original kills that you see, which is scary for 1974.
Yeah.
It was a scary kill that you see right at the beginning, and it sets the tone for the rest of the movie. And what I think is really interesting about this movie is before you had Halloween and you had Friday the 13th and you had these types of movies, you actually had serial killer movies stalking sorority girls, innocent girls, who would go after, the ones that were not as innocent, and you all even had a final girl. So this, we often give that genre the beginnings of, the late 70s, but actually this was alive and well in the earlier 70s.
70s, right. And then Margot Kidder went on to do Superman like 5 years after that.
Of course, yeah.
So yeah.
And she was really good in this.
Yeah.
I definitely want to see it. I'll add it to my pile.
You definitely have to do that.
It shocked me. It was on a streaming service, and it suggested it for me. So I'm like, oh, a horror movie I haven't seen. Let me watch this. And it has that 70s grit
Mm-hmm.
that is so wonderful too. So
Mm-hmm.
it's well worth watching.
The camera and everything, the way that it
Mm.
looks is just definitely 1970s. So it puts you right back to that moment.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then the next one is Silent Night, Deadly Night, which is also around that. I think that's in the 80s. So I don't know when that film was done, Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Well, I have IMDb up, so let me find out.
Now this one is
84.
it was done in 84. This has like a cult following because if you think about the storyline in this, it's really kind of ridiculous, but it has a cult following. So let me just give you like a little history on Silent Night, Deadly Night, so that we all know what this is about. But I mean, there are people that actually have figurines after this character, because it's such a ridiculously iconic role that he played in this. So this film was 1984 when it came out. It was directed by Charles E. Sellier Jr. and it starred Robert Brian Wilson. In this film, of course, as you can see, it's going to be one of those films that features Santa Claus, the one thing that you trust, the one person that you trust, but he's not altogether there. So it's a young man by the name of Billy who suffers from post-traumatic stress over witnessing his parents' murder on Christmas Eve and his subsequent upbringing in an abusive Catholic orphanage. So you all know that that's just nothing but a soup of trouble right there. You just basically did that. So that's essentially what happens is that Billy, who loves Christmas, dresses up as Santa Claus, but he's psychotic.
This is definitely one of those movies that plays on mental illness.
Yes.
And the horror aspect associated with sort of what mentally ill people, how nervous people get around mentally ill people. Now, this person was brought to an extreme, and this character was like in extremis, but the horror behind it really does, happen when people realize that this person is mentally ill. There's something about this person being completely unstoppable and off the handle as soon as you find that out. So I can't say that it's like a great story for mental illness, but
No.
but
It's not meant to be. It's not meant to be.
I was always amused by this movie because the actor is like a young, handsome male actor, which is not normally what you see in movies, right? Mm-hmm. Usually the people are deformed or they're somehow the world has had an impact on them, and so they show it in the way they look. And this is not what you see. This is just someone who is young and what you would expect to be, maybe the male lead in a like the hero role in a movie.
And the thing about it is that everything about him, all of the things that you would probably label as good or innocent or safe, the fact that he's Santa Claus, the fact that he's an attractive young man, all that goes out the window when you see how disturbed he is in this movie.
Yeah.
And it is true. I think the best part of this film is when people who have feel safe realize that he is psychotic. And they come to the realization that he's psychotic. Like, oh my gosh, this guy is, just average.
Initially, I hadn't thought that I'd seen this one, but after seeing the images, I actually do remember watching this at some point in my life. The Santa with the axe is like, oh yeah, I recognize that guy.
Who had an aversion to anything that was Catholic. If anybody noticed that was a nun that he was going after.
Yeah, I noticed.
And there's
a lot of themes that you find in film about anti-Catholic and anti-religious themes. that you see in a lot of horror movies.
Right.
So this takes it to an extreme. This
Yeah.
usually it's sort of on the on the down low. It's sort of an undercurrent of what's going on, but this is sort of very blatant.
Yeah. Very, very, very blatant. Absolutely. So then let's go forward, and we are going to look at the next one, which is Jack Frost. Now, I don't know if you all have ever seen this one, and it's not Jack Frost, the movie with what's his name?
There's like the nice version
There's the
of
nice version,
Jack
and
Frost.
then there's the scary version.
It's like Michael
'Cause-
Keaton and Kelly
Yeah,
Preston.
Michael Keaton. Yeah, that.
I've
it's
made
not
the
Michael
mistake
Keaton movie.
in my life when I wanted to watch the nice version, accidentally ending up with the not nice version of Jack Frost.
So this Jack Frost came out in 1997. The other came out in 1998.
I think- Yeah. The other one's like
Yeah.
the Disney movie, and this one's
Yeah.
like the not Disney movie.
Yeah, yeah. This is definitely So parents, if you are getting ready to show a Jack Frost movie to your kids, make sure you pick up the right one, because this is not the one that they should be watching. But this is also very iconic. If somebody could kind of give a synopsis on this, I'd appreciate it.
It won't be me because I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. Well, I have seen it, so let me just give you a synopsis on it real quick.
Okay.
I just want to make a little bit more of a informed one.
Oh, I can
But I'm
just.
not missing anything.
Okay.
And of course, the one that I pulled up is, of course, the one with Michael Keaton, and that's not the one that we.
So I'll give you what I found. So after an accident that left murderer Jack Frost dead in genetic material, the vengeful killer returns as a murderous snowman to exact his revenge on the man who sent him to be executed. Nice.
Honestly, yeah, that's about all I remember about this movie is that a serial killer effectively came back as a snowman. And then it's like, what are you going to do if you're a serial killer and a snowman?
That's
And
awesome.
there's some pretty imaginative kills in this one too. By the way.
You don't leave prints behind if you kill. No fingerprints.
No fingerprints.
But you
Maybe
do
some
leave-
wet snow.
You do leave a puddle.
Yeah, you leave a puddle. Okay, that face, I might make that my like profile picture on all my social media.
I'd like to see this in somebody's front yard. This version.
That's
of
my new
property.
Zoom. That's my new Zoom background.
Yeah, definitely. Amazing. But this is him in the bathroom. There's a scene in the bathroom right after this. I was going to show it, but I was like, no, I don't want to show this one.
Why is he not melting?
Well, remember he was put in some kind of chemical,
So it's non-melting snowman
it's
chemical?
not melting. No.
Oh, okay.
Definitely.
It's a very
not.
specific chemical.
Yeah, very specific that he got turned into. I mean, he does meet his demise, but
It's fake snowman. So
yeah, it's fake.
Oh, it's
It's
fake
styrofoam,
snowman.
maybe. But I'm telling you, there has some memorable kills.
Oh, look,
and it was
tingling
kinda-
tea.
Yes,
She's drinking some tingling tea.
Yeah, that's going to be all our backdrops next week.
Oh yeah, that's
tea with,
we should put the snowman face in the
Yeah.
backside of the
Yeah.
logo.
outside drinking our tea. Definitely.
See, that's why I have a wall behind me, so that can never happen.
But this is kind of, there are a lot of things in it that is comedic, but of course it is horror, and it is gruesome, and it is a serial killer and everything like that. But check out these teeth made out of ice. And how many of us have cut our fingers on ice? When I saw these teeth, I was like, just
I don't think
Cut your
that's a life
fingers on-
experience I've had yet.
You've cut your
Oh.
fingers on ice?
I have cut my finger on ice before. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. It's been sharp, and I've actually, cut my finger on it.
I've never cut my fingers on ice.
Yeah.
Neither have I.
It can happen. It actually can happen.
You have taught us well,
Yeah.
Sensei.
If it's pointed or serrated, you can cut yourself.
I guess so.
Yeah, it can.
Okay.
So we know that, but now we're going to go to Roy Exports The Christmas Tale, and we're going to have to go through this quickly because there is one that we're going to stop on that we definitely need to discuss in detail. So this one, I have not seen this film, you all. Shame on me. I know it's a gorgeous film, I've not seen it, so I need somebody to give a synopsis on this one.
I'll give a little synopsis.
Okay.
So this is actually a really excellent movie. It's a foreign movie. And
Finnish. It's based
It's
in
from Finland?
Finland.
Okay.
Yes, in Finland, and it's a fantastic movie about this young kid that you follow. So you see the whole movie through his eyes, and you experience the whole movie through his experience. And what's happening is the town is in sort of in the middle of nowhere, and it's populated by people that work on like the mining in the mining industry, and they've been paid by this wealthy person to go and dig into this one particular area, this one particular mountain, and they can't figure out why, but they're like, whatever, you're paying us. And so they dig into it, and they actually unearth Santa Claus, who is entombed in a huge mountain hundreds of years ago, and so they get the original Santa Claus. Now, of course, over the years, Santa Claus has taken on a certain mythology, and different cultures have adopted it. And what's interesting about this is they have discovered the original, the real Santa Claus that is still frozen, that is frozen in time. And what you come to find out is you also have his Santa's helpers that have were entombed with him. And so as they defrost, certain things happen. And I don't want to give it away, but it is a horrifying experience for everyone in the town.
Wait a minute. I say, is that Santa in a cage?
It might
that
be.
might be Santa in a cage.
This movie is 100% worth a watch if
So
you
good.
haven't. Like, this is one. The other ones are like kind of campy that we've talked about, but this one's
Right.
actually really good.
It's
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to watch this. That's definitely going to be on my list now.
available now on Amazon. You can watch it now on Amazon. Stream it.
I'm going to definitely watch this one.
Yes, it's so worth it.
And shout out to my girl Petra out there who's from Finland. I wonder if she's seen this movie. My girl Petra, I miss her. So she's from Finland. Anyway, this looks good. So these must be his helpers then.
It might be.
Oh, I can't wait to see this. But
This is
anyway,
good.
this is where we wanted to land because we all love this story. And there
Yes.
is history behind this story, definitely. But we couldn't go tonight without discussing the movie Krampus and the mythology behind Krampus. So
That's right.
Krampus, what year did this come out?
I actually I've never seen the movie Krampus.
2015.
2015. I've only ever followed the mythology.
Oh.
Well,
no,
but you
it
have to check out
it stars Toni Collette.
the.
Really, really. Adam Scott is in it.
Yeah.
Really great
Oh wow.
actors. Yeah.
Yeah, very good movie. Very good movie. So I would definitely recommend it if you are a follower of this storyline. But I know, Annebelle, you do follow this particular, know
Yes.
a lot about this. So kind of explain to the
Yes.
audience who and what Krampus is.
Okay, so Krampus, right?
Mhm.
If we have Santa Claus, the embodiment of all that is good and wholesome about Christmas, the Central Europeans, so mostly like the Bavaria region, which is southern Germany and Austria, they have the antithesis to Krampus, to the antithesis to Santa, which is Krampus. So if you're naughty, you don't just get coal, you get Krampus showing up at your doorstep to take you away, whip you, chain you up, and tell you how horrible of a kid you were. So his general like appearance is like curvy horns and towering, hairy body with hooves on his feet, and he carries this rod all the time with like chains, and he comes by, and if you've not been good, you don't get Santa that comes, you get Krampus that comes.
By the way, this still is actually from a movie called A Christmas Horror Story.
And is that Krampus
This
though?
That looks like Krampus.
That
He-
is Krampus. That
he's
is
shown
Krampus.
up in so much
He's buff,
popular
too.
media recently.
He is
But
so
he-
buff. Look at Krampus.
he definitely looks like a demon. He definitely
Oh,
looks like a demon.
So
I-
his origin is he's one of the sons of Hel, the Norse god of the underworld. So that's like the mythology behind him. So he is a demon or an anti-god almost.
Mhm, mhm.
And they have so many different like traditions around it now. It's a massive pop culture thing, but it's been a thing for a couple hundred years at this point through Central Europe, and it's kind of spread out slowly from there.
They have Krampus parades now.
Yep,
right?
it's the Krampuslauf, so it means Krampus run, and it's a day that traditionally like the men will dress up as Krampus and walk through the streets to try and scare away winter spirits and disperse them.
So this is it has a paganistic origin, but I think it's really interesting is the commonality of how everybody sees the demon. They all look pretty similar. The horns, the hooves, the prodding, poking. This is very interesting.
It's horrifying. Look at it.
Yes.
Look at that
Imagine being
tongue.
Can you
Ooh.
imagine? This is better than a timeout.
it's
Telling
better
your kid-
than
Telling
this
your
is
kid
more
Krampus-
horrifying than a lump of coal in your stocking.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking.
I agree. I would be scared of Christmas.
But that's the thing. If your child is not good throughout the whole year, you tell them, you fill their mind with this concept of this creature coming to get them because they're not good. And they're thinking
Yeah.
Krampus is going to come and get them. You're basically filling their minds with this stuff. And it's horrific.
And that was some of the reasons for, some of the old tales that people told, right? Some of the old, it was to make sure that kid like Hansel and Gretel and things like that, to make sure that children never wandered off. Children were good.
Yeah, versus here in the States where, kids are mostly afraid of getting cold. The kids, they're afraid of having Krampus come and, take them away forever.
Wow.
And it is,
If
he
they're
takes
not
you away
nice all
forever.
year.
It's not for the whole year. He takes you away forever.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we've ever heard from anyone that's been taken away from by Krampus.
What is curious to me is the fact that I think that there's got to be some truth to these myths or these stories and stuff. I wonder where they came up with this. I know that this has an origin of Norse god beliefs, but even in that concept of old gods, they must have existed at some point. Think about all the gods in Greece and the Roman gods and stuff, which is a knockoff the Greek gods. But basically, just think these things must be like fallen angels, Nephilim that came down. Do you all know what that is?
I don't, but it's a cool name. Tell me what that means.
So when Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden and original sin was introduced, actually what happened was when the devil rebelled in heaven, he was cast down to this earth, and he is called the ruler of the air. Basically, he was cast down with a portion of heaven. And a large group of them, and they came down onto this earth, and where we have human beings in the earth now too, some of these fallen angels fell in love with women. They found them to be beautiful, so they procreated with these women, and they created something called the Nephilim. The Nephilim is usually giants like Goliath. That he was a Nephilim.
Okay.
They're not considered to be. They're not considered to be, normal people. They have some kind of demonic bloodline in them. So it makes me think that gods and gods of old were actually Nephilims. They had certain powers that normal humans didn't have. They had certain supernatural abilities that normal humans didn't have.
Well, there's certainly similarities between the imagery that we're seeing here and demons, devils, other things from other cultures that that pop up. I mean, you can see the hoofed feet. Even
Yes.
even if you look back at Evil, right? Even if you look back in our show at Evil, this is a similar image to what we saw as the psychologist.
Gruß vom Krampus. That's like
Bruce, that's his name, Bruce from Krampus.
No. That's like a greeting statement.
Oh, greetings from Krampus. Oh,
Yeah.
heck no! Can you imagine getting that card in the mail?
You know, I'd be pretty excited if I got that card in the mail. To be honest, I'd be like, this is pretty cool.
I actually would too.
I mean, nowadays it would be, but I mean,
because look at it. Look
day.
at this train of children that he took away that were naughty that year.
Wow.
So cute too. He took a lot of kids away.
All these little German kids.
Look how they're dressed.
That's terrible.
And they all have bowl cuts, so you know they've been naughty.
I was just gonna say that.
That they what?
They all have bowl cuts.
You know, what if your parents told a lie on you and said that Krampus was you know, they told Krampus to come and get you, just take you away because you didn't want no kids no more. Can you imagine?
No, I can't imagine, and I can't imagine some of the therapy costs that the children have to go through.
Yeah, I just told it. Honestly, I don't know how they came up with the concept of this creature.
Yeah,
look at his tongue. What is up with the tongue?
That's creepy. And
very creepy.
He's in black. He's always wearing black.
He's wearing black. Yes. But one running theme that all of these pictures that I'm showing is that he has those horns.
Yeah, he always has the horns.
He looks like an imp or a devil, a demon. He definitely does that.
That's Saint Nicholas with his staff.
Right.
With Krampus next to him.
He's actually holding Krampus.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I think the idea is that they kind of work together,
they work in
right?
tandem together.
You know,
right?
Saint Nicholas. Because I guess he's not Santa over in Central Europe. Saint Nicholas goes to the good houses and he tag teams Krampus to go to the bad houses. So,
wow, that is a crazy job that they have.
The kids actually leave their boots out on the porch so that one of them can either come fill it or, you know, Krampus with the bucket backpack shows up to take you.
That's cool. And that looks like a baby board, a swaddling board from Native American culture.
And there's a watered down version of Krampus too that's worth mentioning in a lot of Germany because they deemed it so bad that even the Nazis banned Krampus.
What?
Yep. So you know, it's deemed really scary, but they have a German version called Connect Ruprecht, which is more of like a watered down
version of it.
Yeah, he's not going to take you away version.
Now, you know what's very interesting to me that you would say that the Nazis banned Krampus? And let me say that they were so involved in recreating supernatural events. What was it about Krampus that scared them so much?
They probably knew that Krampus was going to take them away.
Well, they knew that he was probably real.
I love it. I love the Krampus artwork so much.
Well, the artwork is gorgeous. It really is. It really
is. I just Googled Krampus's tongue, but there's not really much that tells you about it. I was thinking there's got to be something about. Oh, this must be
this is the march. Yeah, this is the Krampus law.
Yeah.
That
now
is
they're
so
major
crazy.
Events where everyone just dresses up as Krampus and marches through the cities in Germany and Austria.
I totally want to go to this.
I want to do it. I want to march in it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. I don't want to just watch it.
Well, I would definitely want to see this. It's a spectacle. Here is what it says about Krampus's tongue. Iguanas, frogs, and woodpeckers all use elongated tongues to snatch their prey. But Krampus's large tongue would seem to enwrap and constrict significantly larger objects and targets. So he did that. His tongue was long so he could grab the children with it.
Ew. That's nasty.
That's very nasty. Yeah, just to think about it. But I guess this is the big image. This is the Krampus laugh. Yeah.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah.
Look at the guy.
I love
it. So cool.
Right? The like abominable snowman outfit.
So
That's
this
like
is
the dead guy in of the White Walkers.
yeah, yeah. I think that this what this is that it's the fact is that this is Nordic culture and this comes from Nordic beliefs. This comes from Nordic
Mm,
beliefs. So
yeah.
we lost Annabelle. She'll be back.
Okay.
But look at that.
Ooh.
That's
Sorry, there's a
amazing.
delicious vegetable pie being made in the
Oh,
background.
oh, okay.
Mm.
Ooh. And you ain't even invite us over.
No.
Anyway,
Next time.
next time. But yes, I can see some of the costuming for these if this event is just amazing.
I love it.
I do
This
too.
is like Halloween. Although Halloween has taken on a global influence too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Definitely.
Halloween is everywhere now.
Wow.
Look
Look at
at
that.
that
That's a great
mask.
mask.
I want to get a Krampus costume so bad.
I mean, where would
So
you get it? I
everybody in
guess
your
you have to
neighborhood
make
will
it
be like,
yourself.
You just got to make it. I mean, at this
Yeah.
point, we need him to scare away like 2020.
COVID.
So yeah, so
Can he? Shoot.
I
ooh,
love all of
Look
the
at that.
variety of interpretations of it as well. It's amazing what people come up with.
I love it too. Look at those red
Very, very good.
eyes.
Amazing. Wow. Well, so we've learned a lot about Krampus and the origins of Krampus. I'm like really excited about that.
And I
You
guess
know,
the theme here is that as we come into a holiday season, you have your religious, very ethereal and positive and family-oriented things, and then you have the opposite of that, that people play on as well, which is through Krampus and through a theme through all of the films that we talked about. So we have this sort of dichotomy going on throughout this season.
yeah, definitely. And I think, I imagine that people do things like this when there's like a bad time in this world. They dress up in costumes, they put themselves, this is what people do. So I think that this is, very, very similar to how people basically enjoy themselves during
Hmm.
this time. But absolutely, a good thing. So I'm sure we missed some Christmas films out there that
Oof. Well,
that we
there's
probably haven't seen.
the one I was telling you about earlier, where we had the still from it was it actually is with Krampus, and it looks like a Krampus versus Santa Claus movie, where Santa Claus plays like a Krampus slayer,
Love to see it. I want
which
to watch
Oh,
is
that
I don't see
one.
that.
which is amazing. And the cool thing, I just watched the trailer. I didn't see the whole movie, so I'm not giving anything away here. Is that William Shatner is in it, and so you know that it's a good movie then. And then you actually have Santa's helpers who um, contract some sort of virus and turn into zombies.
So which one is that?
It's literally called A Christmas Horror Story.
Because it kind of sounds like Santa Helsing or something. Kind of
It
like the Van Helsing, but
The
with
Van Helsing
Santa.
is
it
yeah.
definitely gives the Santa Helsing sort of mythology.
So we will have to check that out.
Oh,
But
definitely.
audience, if you're out there and there's a Christmas movie a horror film that's for Christmas during the holiday season that you think that we should watch, please put it in the link below, and let us know what movie we should be watching. Next week, because we're almost at time. Next week we're going to have special guests here. We're going to have the cast and crew, Jake and Andrew Hunsaker of the movie The Arrangement.
Mm.
So I'm really excited about that.
Cannot wait.
I know. I cannot wait. So we'll see them next week. And if you are following us, please like and subscribe us our content on YouTube and ring the bell so that you know that we're going to have something. We're usually here every Friday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Follow everything that Cliff Dive Productions is doing right now on our YouTube page and on our Facebook page.
And Instagram.
And Instagram, yes, and Instagram. We're going to be having updates soon. Some new exciting things coming with Cliff Dive Productions that we can't wait to let you all know about. So make sure you do like and subscribe us so that you can be abreast of that information. And as always, we want to end our evening with our missing. We're doing an FBI report. This is Mildred Alexis Old Crow. She is missing, and she's adorable.
She is.
So she was missing from the Crow Reservation April last year, April 9th, 2019, the Crow Reservation in Montana. She goes by the name Millie. Her date of birth is May 3rd, 2012. She has brown hair. She's 6 years old at the time of her disappearance. And so she's probably like 7 years old now. She has brown eyes and she is Native American. And if you know anything or any information about Millie, please let us know. Please reach out to the Federal Bureau of Investigations if you have anything, or to the Crow Nation, their FBI, their local law enforcement. You can call anonymously. You can also contact the field office in Salt Lake City, Utah, if you have seen Millie or you know about her whereabouts. We always want to say that, normally we speak about missing women, and there is an epidemic within the Native American community of missing women. But this is somebody's baby. And if you all know anything about that, please reach out to law enforcement and let them know where Millie is. I'm sure her mom and her family are missing her very much. With that, we will see you next Friday, of course. Same time, same place. Have a very good evening, everyone. And we'll see you next Friday at 8 o'clock.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.